Hi friends, it's your art teacher, Miss Barnett, and in this week's lesson called Letters and Symbols, we've been looking at how artists use everyday things like letters and symbols that we see all around us and manipulate and change them to make interesting pieces of art. So today we looked at some artworks using letters and symbols, and then we'll be creating our own letter forms today. What you're going to need for today's class or today's assignment is 2 or 3 pieces of 9 by 12 construction paper. Any color you would like is fine. I've got extra because I'm going to be demonstrating in front of you guys today, so I'll need a little bit more. You're going to need a pencil, some scissors, some glue, and some markers or oil pastels to embellish or add decorative details to your artwork. So gather your materials, meet me back here, and we'll get started. Okay, kiddos, before we get started, I wanted to review asymmetrical and symmetrical. This has to deal with balance or how we've arranged our objects on our paper. In an asymmetrical design like this one on your screen, if we drew an imaginary line down the middle, either way, it does not look the same on both sides or the top or the bottom. That means it's an asymmetrical design, which means it is unbalanced. A symmetrical design like this one here is balanced. So if we drew an imaginary line down the middle, the left side is the same as the right side, as well as if we drew an imaginary line, or we could try drawing an imaginary line through the horizontal half point, and the top would be the same as the bottom. That means it's a symmetrical design. If it has symmetry the whole way around, we call that radial symmetry. So you can make an asymmetrical or a symmetrical design with your letter forms today. It is your choice. I just wanted you to be able to explain to me which one did you do. So I will be asking you in your Flipgrid, did you create an asymmetrical or a symmetrical design with your letters and symbols? That being said, let's get started. So guys, maybe you want to make a symmetrical letter today. So symmetrical letters would be letters like O, T, A is symmetrical. Let's see, what else would be symmetrical? The letter W would be symmetrical. The letter U would be symmetrical. So to make a symmetrical letter, we're going to take our paper, we're going to match the corners and fold it in half like so. And I think I'm going to make a letter T. So you can use a pencil, I'll use a marker so you can draw. See what I'm doing a little bit better, and I'm going to draw half of the letter on this side, on the fold. So I've drawn half the letter T on the folded side. Now I'm going to take my scissors and carefully cut it out, keeping the paper closed. And I'll fast forward for this. Okay, friends, let's say I wanted to repeat this letter T in another color. So all I'd have to do is take that letter, go to the edge of my paper, and trace it. I want you to go to the edge of the paper, that way we don't waste a lot of paper. Okay. Perfectly traced letter T. I'm going to cut that guy out. If you want to make an asymmetrical letter, like a letter S, a C, a D, a P, just go ahead and very carefully sketch out those letters. You might want to think about where those letters go as we move around our paper. All right, guys, I'm going to keep working and making letters, and you can do the same. Here we go. You should actually just pick one letter to focus on. So I think I'm going to focus on the letter S. Here we go. Okay, kiddos, so I have finished cutting out my letter S's. Now I'm going to decide if I want them to be in a radial design. So radial design might look something like this, because remember, they'll be the same on both sides. Or, so a radial design might look like this. Or I might want to make an asymmetrical design where one side of the paper has more on it than the other side. So go ahead and play around with your letter forms and decide how you want them to be arranged, and then we can glue them down. All right, kids, now I'm going to use my markers, or you could use oil pastels, your choice, to add some designs and embellishments to this. I'm going to get started. Here we go. All right, kiddos, here's my completed letters and symbols project. I created this from 2 pieces of construction paper and markers. I want you to make sure you plan for your colors. Make sure you either created a symmetrical balance or a asymmetrical balance. Here I created symmetrical balance because if we cut it in half, either way, it's the same. And that would actually make it radial balance. If it's balanced the whole way in a circle, it's a radial balance. I want you to experiment with overlapping or touching the letters like I did here. And I want you to be creative with your letter forms. I hope you have just as much fun creating with your letters as I did today. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day, friends. Bye.